The town of Shamokin was laid out on March 1st, 1835 and was formed in the true tradition of a melting pot. Hardworking immigrants who were English, Welsh, Irish, Italian, Polish, Lithuanian, and German came here. Places of worship came about to serve the masses and were vast to include Roman Catholics, Methodists, Presbyterians, Baptists, Lutherans, and the Jewish residents. Coal, or black diamonds, were first discovered in what would later become Coltmont around 1790 when Isaac Tomlinson picked some pieces out of Quaker Run and took them into Berks County for a blacksmith to try. Around 1875, Mr. Tomlinson erected a blacksmith shop and used Shamokin stone coal. From this small beginning emerged an industrial giant, coal, which was to play a big part of the Industrial Revolution and played an even more revolutionary role in the development of the city. One of the most famous names associated with Shamokin is Thomas Alva Edison. Edison was only 35 years old when he arrived in Shamokin in the early fall of 1882. In November of that year, the Edison Electrical Illuminating Company of Shamokin was incorporated. Shamokin was the site of the second three-wire electric light station in the world in 1883. Edison's plant is now the site of Jones Hardware located on Independence Street. St. Edward's Church became the first church in America to be lit by electricity. The city was strongly supported on the backs of the coal industry, but grew beyond mining to include bakeries, ice cream and dairy factories, breweries, mills, clothing factories, and entertainment outlets. Shamokin was once the most populous area and the largest trading center within a 60-mile radius. At its peak in the 1920s, the combined population of Shamokin and Cole Township was 50,000, with the main industries being coal mining and silk from the J.H. and C.K. Eagle silk mills. However, times they do change, and as the nation turned to oil as its primary source of energy, loss of the silk industry in favor of synthetic textiles that could be manufactured cheaper overseas. The Great Depression came and began in 1929, and with the loss of Shamokin's two railroads, the population decreased and the total number of residents in the area dropped to roughly less than 10,000 people. After an 80-year period of decline, the community sought to find a corner of recovery, and in the past few years, signs of such recovery can be seen in the near future. Major commercial entities are moving in and calling Shamokin home. Independent investors are moving in, making an honest living, proving that hard work and entrepreneurism still exist in this town. While there are many positive factors at work combined with honest and hardworking citizens who care about their town and region, there are some who have been exploiting this town's good name and working on taking advantage of the good that these towns have to offer. There are many good people fighting for these towns and working on bringing back jobs and hope to this region. This is the story of two men, along with the help of local citizens who are standing their ground and fighting back against those forces working against them. They have been pushed around and are willing to expose the negative sides of politics and corruption that have been delaying this region from achieving change and stopping the trend that has been influencing the region for the past few decades. The coals are lit, the fire is burning, and there is something smoking in Shamokin. On a quiet summer evening, Scott Binsack was hard at work. He is about to receive an unexpected phone call from an out-of-town investor that would change his life in this town forever.
Hello, my name's Stephen Crone. Is Scott Binsack available, please? Hey, Mr. Binsack. I'm sorry, Scott. I found your information online. I'm actually a private investor, and I've been researching towns all over the United States and where I can invest in. And I found the area of Shamokin, Pennsylvania. I see that you actually live there. Yeah, well, I was thinking about possibly purchasing a couple homes, and I wanted to see if I could run some ideas by you. Is this a good time? Great. Well, you know, reason I'm looking there is I'm most interested in finding areas that are closer to Washington, D.C. I could go out, to Detroit and Cleveland, but it's just a little too far. And I see that the property values there are actually supporting what I can afford. and it'd be a lot easier for me to travel back and forth from Washington to there and actually manage the properties myself a little bit easier. Okay, well, I was actually just wondering if I could come up there and possibly, pick your brain a little bit, and if you would help me out, I can maybe give you like a little finder's fee, or maybe I can hire you on as like a consultant for me. That's what I've done in the past with some people. All right, great. Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and put a flight together. I'll give you a call, let you know what day and time. I'd like to try to get up there within the next week. A couple of the properties I'm looking at are up for sale right now, and I really want to try to grab them before they go. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, but thank you for taking my call. Oh, you have a good night. Thank you. All right, bye-bye. Well, I researched Scott's background at first, and I saw both positive and negatives. I figured there's really no risk for me using him, but if I was able to get a builder's advice, there's a win-win for both of us. So I figured, why not? Gave him a call, figured I'd shoot up, see what the town was about, and see what he was all about.
I didn't know what to think of Steve when he first called me. He seemed knowledgeable, intelligent, aggressive, very similar to myself. But at the same time, I had to be leery. And I figured, hell, if he wants to travel up here and check the area out, then fine. I'm willing to help anybody. That's just the type of guy that I am.
The Transportation Security Administration has limited the size and quantity of items.
Steve Crone has traveled all over this great land. In his mind, he was traveling back to a region familiar to him. Little did he know that just 4 hours outside of Washington, D.C., the world that he thought he knew was unlike any that he has ever seen. His initial impression of the town was that of a rural city with many opportunities of making a big change for the residents. He was eager to meet Scott and see if the builder that he met online was who he claimed to be.
Hey, Steve.
Spencer, how you doing,
Nice
Scott?
to meet you.
Nice to finally meet you.
How was your trip?
Long.
Bet it was.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming this whole way.
Yeah.
Come on, sit down. Get your business over here. Sit down here. Let me put your bag down. How was your flight?
As Steve discussed his idea with Scott, the two realized they had a lot in common. After several hours of discussion, the relationship began.
Steve, I think this is a great idea, and I think together we got something here, and I can help you out with all this.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Be in contact.
Thank you for coming all the way up here. I
No
appreciate
problem.
it.
No problem.
And thank you, for taking all your time, and I look forward to working with you.
Appreciate that. All right.
Come on, let me walk you out. You remember how to get out of here now?
Yeah, I think I do. Over the river and through the woods. To grandmother's house we go.
It's sort of like that. Especially when you live in here in Pennsylvania.
All right, thanks again. All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Take care, Steve. Thanks a lot. The kid seemed like a good guy, and he wanted to invest, and he had tons of energy. So I said, okay, now it was time to get down to business.
After meeting Scott for the first time, he definitely had some information on the construction side that I was missing. He was the perfect piece to the puzzle that I wanted to complete.
While traveling back to Florida and after seeing the town and the condition of the area, Steve thought of a big idea to create a revitalization prospectus and wanted to reach out to Scott to see if the two could turn those ideas into a reality.
This Scott.
Yeah, I was thinking about an idea. I wanted to get your input on this. I was thinking about, I want to do something more for this town. I don't want to just come in and just buy up properties, man. I'm actually thinking about possibility or how I can maybe even get like some businesses going. Actually like change this town. I want to put together like kind of, I guess, a broad idea, or I guess a business prospectus or something to try to really help revitalize this community. I think there's really good possibilities here. A dollar goes a long way here, man, and it can make a big difference. And I kind of want to be seen as, a help to this community and not a hindrance. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. A prospectus would be great. Yeah, together we could come up with something really good. At least that way we can spell everything out and do our homework here and see what we're dealing with. That's a great idea. Definitely. Okay. And, I don't think anybody's ever done anything like that here. Yeah, sure. I'll set it up right now. We can start working on the outline and we'll go from there. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, definitely. All right, my friend. Thank you. All right, bye-bye. Steve wanted to be more than just an investor and help this area. So along with my help as a consultant, together we generated a plan to revitalize this area. He then decided to form a corporation, S&S Capital, and I suggested he form another corporation, HRG, Hometown Revitalization Group, in order to do the same.
Hey.
Hello, big guy. Guess what?
I don't know. What's up?
This is going to give you 10 minutes on Monday night board meeting,
Yeah, right. Really?
and they're going to hear you, and your prospectus will be presented.
All right, so now we need to get these prospectuses put together. Did you get any of them printed off?
I had to run out, get copies made for you, and I'm going to run them down, and they want them there in the mailbox by 8 a.m. that morning, so they have all day to digest it.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah, we did it. So, you're going to have to change your plan. You got to be up here for this meeting.
Man, that is short. I got to do a lot to get ready.
That's only a couple days, so do what you got to do.
Okay, I'll go ahead and get online. I'll get a flight. I'll get my butt up there.
And Stephen Bartos, I met with him, and I gave him the one leftover copy we had from the first batch, and he's the one that set this up to have other copies made for them to be in their mailboxes for that morning, on Monday morning before the council meeting.
And we got to make this thing really count. So let's get all this stuff put together and show them that we're for real, okay?
Yeah, I'm happy. It was a lot of work.
You're a man of your word, man. Thank you. I know this is big. I know.
But yeah, Stephen Bartos told me exactly that. And he was very interested in the prospectus. Very interested. I spent about 10-15 minutes with him.
All right, man. I'm on the next plane up there. I am so excited. Let's get this thing rocking, man. All right, you're the man. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I'm not going to let you down, I promise, okay?
All right, God bless. Thanks. Bye.
When I got the call from Scott saying that the City Hall would actually take our proposal, I was very, very excited. For once, I was really glad that I gave him a call, and he lived up to what he said he did. So he was able to give me my 5 minutes of fame, and I was really going to make this count.
Steve, along with Scott's help, put in many hours to establish a good plan to help the community. They took their plan with the invitation of Steven Bartos to the City Hall to present this plan to the board. Little did they know that Bartos was inviting them in and then going to stab them in the back publicly in the local paper by using Scott's past to stop this idea in its tracks. To this day, the council has never voted to accept or reject their plan.
He's not going to be happy about this.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Guess what? We made the freaking newspaper. Yeah. No, not even close to being good. Nope. It says promises and problems. They basically turned around the entire prospectus and used my past to degrade your entire good efforts. And all the research and all the development, everything that we had planned, and we did, and tried to use my past from 2007 to do the same. And Steve Bartos is misquoted in there, saying we asked the city for help, to partner with them, etc. And you remember that night? They weren't even prepared after Bartos asked us to have everything there early that day for Monday before the meeting. Yet we go before the meeting, we show them, we asked them and talked to them, and the acting mayor even says, Mr. Binsack, Mr. Crone, we didn't even get a copy of that prospectus, and sure enough, they had them in their mailboxes at 8 a.m. that morning, as Mr. Bartos requested. And now they're in here, he's in here misquoting it, and sure enough, all of this is about me, not you. So they smashed the prospectus by using my past to do it. I know. I'm sorry. They took the whole thing and twisted it around. And you want to know why? This is why. The news item is owned by Time Shamrock Communications, which is the paper out of Lackawanna County, and who the staff writer, David Folchak, as I explained to you, wrote all these past articles, the same ones you found on Google, that everybody finds on Google. They took the same articles, and I sued them for this. They took the same articles and had the local reporter we met with reprint them. Reprint them as if I was in jail. I even got calls this morning to ask people calling here thinking that I was in jail to call and see if I was in jail. Because of this newspaper. Oh, it's incredible. The whole thing's incredible.
What? What else does it say?
And it says consultants' prospectus for Shamokin Cole Township raises investment issues. And then it goes into my past from 2007 and nothing. And it states that I appeared, doesn't even mention that you appeared. Last Monday appeared before the City Council to pitch an ambitious plan to revitalize Smokin and Cole Township. He distributed copies of a prospectus that includes a bid to raise $13,510,000. At the end of the prospectus, Binsack is listed as the Binsack consultant and acting agent of the LLC, your company. The prospectus refers to membership interest in 5,000 increments, blah, 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 blah. Whole thing. Yeah. Oh no, it goes into other pages, and then it shows me in front of my office in Clark Summit. What does stuff from 2007 and mansions and estates have anything to do with a prospectus that you prepared with my help and consultation for SNS Capital and Hometown Revitalization Group? These people are out of their freaking minds. And it's the same kind of corruption. There's something going on here. They're hiding something here. I'm telling you, they're hiding something here. And this is the same kind of corruption I ran into in Lackawanna County. This board, these people, this Steve Bartos, all of them. Something is going on here. And for them to go and slam us this way, now they're slamming you, and they just negated the entire prospectus that we spent all this time and effort on for a good cause in the city. And you know what? It's just like everybody's been saying. Other companies have come in here and they smashed them down too. Large companies to create jobs, they smashed them down too because they didn't want to pay a higher pay rate. Now they're doing the same thing again to you, and thus using me to do it.
Man, I am not going to stand for this. What can I do?
Well, it's time we're going to have to regroup. You're going to have to come back up here, and we're going to have to straighten this matter out and hit it head on. Yes, lawyers, everything's going to have to be involved now. And all the money that you spent to create this prospectus and all the time you investigated the properties, everything that you did is now been blown out because of...
No, I mean, I know you told me this could happen. Man, I just thought you were making that up.
this. And I did warn you of the possibility that this could happen.
Where did they get that I wanted to get money from the town?
Well, there's nothing in that prospectus that asks the city for a dime. Nothing. This is your money, outside investors' money. There's nothing to do with the city, and they're trying to act as if it's some type of scam or proposal because using my past from 2007 on the cover of a newspaper, and it's all over the place to state that, to cover this entire matter up.
Dude. No, I'm not really mad with you, but I can't believe they're trying to make you the center of the attention when this was my deal. I know you helped me and everything. No, I'm not happy with this one bit.
Yep. I'm sorry. I feel horrible. I feel horrible.
No, I'm getting my butt on a plane. I'm not going to stand for this. You're going to have to help me get this taken care of. If my family hears about this, they are going to flip.
All right. Yep. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
When Scott called me about this newspaper article, I was absolutely devastated. Number one, I felt bad for him. Here I called this guy out of the blue, asked him to help me with an idea that I've had my whole life. And I wasn't going to let it stand. I demanded some answers. So I was going to go up and see this Steven Bartos guy and ask him why he took my good intentions and wanted to twist it around in the newspaper. This local newspaper, the news item, I'm not going to let that stand either. I had to go and demand some answers from them. This is just another clear evidence of retaliatory tactics that they've been using against decent, hardworking folks for many years now.
This slam effort on behalf of Steven Bartos and the local newspaper was the grounds for establishing this show. It was never the intention of Steve or Scott to document these efforts. However, in their mind, the truth needed to be shown and told. The town and its officials underestimated these two and did not realize they were facing two guys that would fight back to get out the truth and stand up for their rights in this noble cause.
We're definitely misquoted, and I want to know where we got that.
Can I stop you for a moment? What are we doing here?
We're filming a documentary to see, because I have a possible slander suit against him, the city, and everybody else. The newspaper,
Reality TV show.
and I want to get all this on record formally. I want to know where he came up with these accusations that I asked him to partner with the city, and I never actually said that. He's quoted in the newspaper as saying it. And they went so far as to contact the SEC, which investigated me yesterday, and I have about 17 lies in here that I want to find out what's going on.
Okay, hang on.
Sending it down to Orlando, slandering my name.
Hang on one moment.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Rick.
What's going on?
Rick, how you doing, man? I actually was contacted through Scott and a lot of my family members and several of my business clients, and I was brought to the attention about this news article, which states me personally and states my company. It says that Scott Binsack actually is a partner of mine when he's not. He's just strictly a consultant. So there's been a lot of misquotes, some of it which came from Mr. Bartos. So now I have no choice but to come up here and find out what's going on. It's gone so far as people contacting the Orlando Sentinel down in Florida where I'm at, and they're jeopardizing not only my reputation but my business. I've done
As
nothing
well as
but be
mine.
an outstanding citizen everywhere I've been. All my companies have been legally formed. He went so far, Mr. Paulchek and the local writer, which I'll be talking to next, saying that they contacted the SEC. SEC came
That was-
yesterday and tried to investigate me, of which say that everything I put in the prospectus was legal. This is now going way beyond what we're trying to do, and all I've done is come in this town and ask, buy properties legally, fix them up the right way, and the fingers are being pointed at us when they need to be pointed at some of these slumlords. And you all know who we're talking about.
You're talking to the wrong person right now. Mr. Bartles ain't here.
Do you know when I can ask for him to please give me a call? Because I would like to address what his comments are and what is his underlying goal here.
He's off the rest of the day today. He was back in office on Monday. We will contact him. He will contact you when it's good time for him.
Okay.
That's all I can.
We also just want to make it clear to you, and I know, Rick.
I am not saying anything because that camera's on.
I understand. All I want to say is that it's been cleared and documented by the Security Exchange Commission that our prospectus is nothing illegal.
I don't know anything about it. It went to our. I'll top Bartles' cards.
I really appreciate that. No, thank you. I mean, that's all I want. And it's a shame that I have to come up here all the way from Florida when my name's being, and I'm sure you all would do the same, if someone was putting out misallegations about you. And all I'm trying to do is do right.
Bringing up 2007 newspaper articles that the paper's being sued for.
And clearly,
you misquoted that.
And clearly, you know, in the city, and I can actually go around and show you footage. There's a lot of homes around here that are not up to code enforcement, that have mold in them, that have trash all over the place. Our properties are not like that. And for people to come at me, now I'm starting to raise the question why. Like, honest people are coming in this town, honest investment. They even went so far as to claim that I raised $4 million so far, when all I've done is put my personal money into this town to try to do right. Offered to bring an event here, MMA, which was shut down. I mean, I'm trying to help you guys with the pools, everything else. Nobody else cares to do that.
The only person that can answer your question is Steve Bartles.
And I would love for him to give me a call. Can I give you my number for him to contact me?
Yes, you can.
The properties that...
Pertain to prospectus? This thing?
No.
Okay, shut the camera off.
This is...
I won't answer.
Okay. The question had to do with the demolished buildings. We got told to say, did you see you love the prospectus? Did you hear what he said? You love the prospectus.
Just you know,
some closed
a
door information.
lot of stuff like that. They're not against us. They're not with us. They're just being neutral. We're gonna wait and see what happens with Mr. Bartos next week when he calls me, because he's gonna have to call to explain some of these accusations in the paper. So we'll see what happens.
And they also believe straightly that this is coming from David Falchek in the Scranton Times up in Lackawanna. This is no coincidence. What happened is when we went in to interview them, they called the police, probably to say that we were harassing them.
It's really funny.
What's that?
It's just sad that we drive around at night, don't see one cop. As soon as we leave an official building, 2 cops show up, which is probably the whole town, all in the car looking for us.
To this day, Steve was never called by Mr. Bartos to address his claims in the paper. He went back 3 weeks later to the city hall to talk to Mr. Bartos and was then threatened by Police Chief Edward Griffiths and was told that it was in his best interest to leave town in the next 30 minutes. Chief Griffiths then turned to Scott and told him that he would lock him up too when Scott was standing next to Steve for no reason at all.
So where we're going now, we're going to go to the newspaper. I'm going to ask this journalist, if he's conveniently not there most likely, why he decided to go out of his way to opt out vital information in his story, create smear campaign against Scott and myself, and even went so far as to reach out to the Orlando newspaper down in Florida where I currently reside, to try to go out of his way to stop me and run me out of town. I've had a lot of people sending me messages this morning saying that it's getting major press, major coverage at a lot of corporations in Washington, D.C., West Virginia. And a quote this morning was told to me as the good old boys are trying to run me out of town, and I better watch my back. Well, I'm not going anywhere. So someone needs to stand up for these people. No one else cares. Just look at what we're showing you. This is the newspaper that reported all the misfactual information. None of it was backed up. They even went so far as to send it down to Orlando, Florida. So I'm actually coming here to confront the editor and the journalist, and he even went so far as to say that the company was illegally formed.
Upon going to the news item, neither the writer nor the editor were available for comment. Since the filming of this episode, Scott and Steve did speak to the editor, who was made aware of continued harassment by staff writer David Falchek via multiple phone calls. More stories have been written since, with the intent to mislead the public and hurt the two publicly and professionally. There have been no retractions made, even though they were brought to the attention of both editors and timelines were proved to the paper and its publishing authorities. The guys decide to go to the City Housing Authority to see what their take is on the situation.
Things aren't adding up.
Things aren't adding up. When we offer to buy demolished buildings and things like that, they're charging $98,000 to tear them down. Where's the money going? Why does it cost $98,000 to tear down a building? And we're trying to buy the property. And after my meeting with you, it was like this got turned into something huge. We meant nothing bad. You know what I mean? When we talk on the record. You understand? And I'll say it clearly. And this is nothing against you. You were the only one that really spoke the truth, from what I understand, what you're trying to do. Federal money, subsidiary money, grants, and things like that. And now we seem like we're getting tons of resistance.
What's with the camera?
I mean, they're starting to slander my name down in Florida. They actually sent a
This
news
man has a
article
perfect
to
record. Steven
the
has a
Orlando
perfect-
Sentinel. I own several businesses. I work for really reputable firms. Never had anything done wrong. I've even offered to help raise money for the local pool, and it was denied. I was trying to bring in an MMA event, a ring, professional fighters, professional wrestlers, which generate thousands of dollars for this town. They
We're
told me
offering
no.
10% back to the city. They're telling us no.
Why would they do that?
Well, I don't know what's going on.
I understand. My question to you
Something.
is that he's a reputable businessman and he's trying to help this city, okay? Because we see things here that maybe others don't, but now the more we talk to people, they see that this city can be brought. And I'm talking businesses, I'm talking other people, other investors, I mean,
They've even gone so far with my name, they scared away several of my investors. And they claimed that I brought in $4 million. So the SEC wanted to see my bank
This has
accounts.
all been
I didn't
his
have
own
$4
money.
million.
and the
Every
FCC
dollar
then
that
laughed.
every dollar
They
that
were
we've
laughing.
bought in this town has been my money. Everything I've done is to support this community. Tax
We've
revenue,
taken
everything.
No
I
money
mean,
from anybody.
our properties we fixed up. We put in new electric. We put in new boilers. We've painted them. But then you have, scumlords that are not doing the same thing. Why are they looking at us instead of them? And I've interviewed people that are renting from that guy right there, and there's mold in their houses. There's all kinds of stuff going on.
Faulty, serious.
And it's a river of money that's being flowed through this town, and they're trying to keep honest people out, and it seems like they keep feeding the corrupt ones, feeding the corrupt ones, feeding the corrupt ones. And when they start going out of their way to contact papers, where I live down in Florida, I have an issue with that.
Well, if you read the paper today,
Oh, you were?
subsidized Islam.
Well, thank God.
Finally,
Thank
someone's
God,
listening.
finally.
We knew you. We even said you.
I
we
talked
knew you.
very highly about you, Steve, and I said, this is the gentleman.
We're in the front of today's meeting.
Oh, I didn't even notice today's paper.
Well, what happened is when we stopped making the subsidy payments, then he stopped paying his utilities. Now they shut the water. Yeah, so now they're looking at
Gotcha.
But that's an issue that
Are they making you, I didn't read it, are they making you look as like the bad guy because you're going after the slumlord, or is it the
well, you're gonna have to make your own determination when you read it.
Okay.
I have a set of rules, regulations I have to do.
No, I
We have,
understand.
we have inspection criteria. If it doesn't meet the criteria, then of course we stop subsidy and we go from there.
Right. My question to you is, and this is straightforward. I mean, I know you've raised a lot of, you have the availability and have gotten money in for this town, and that the city council seems to shoot you down when you try to present something.
Well, it depends upon, again, this goes back to the politics of the community, right? The current mayor right now, he supports us.
Right. The one that's sick or the one acting?
The one that's sick,
And his name is?
George Wazinski.
George
He's the mayor.
Krasinski's the mayor.
From
So
way
the
I
mayor,
understand.
so the mayor is backing what you're trying to do.
Yeah, the mayor has. We have no problem with the current mayor.
Then it's the rest of the board.
Some members on city council don't support us, but right now, everything that we brought before the mayor, he supported and pushed through for us. We have no problem with the mayor.
No, we're not after the current mayor. We've not even dealt with him. You know what I mean?
I will go on record who I have a problem with, and it's Mr. Bartos. He's going out of his way to put quotes in the paper on things that supposedly were said that were never said. And when he starts misquoting people, I have a big issue with that, as I'm sure you would, as any legitimate person would. man.
They totally discriminated. They wouldn't even give you your documents back, bud.
Kept my copy of my driver's license, wouldn't give me a
Copy of the corporation documents, everything.
I'm calling the FDIC. This is ridiculous. They just
How can
violated
FNB
so
Bank
much.
do that? I've never heard of such a thing.
But they kept every single piece of paper from my driver's license,
And then they
all the corporation papers. They wouldn't give them back to me, and then they say they don't want me as a client.
Wait, on top of that, though, they talked about that the power of attorney was bad. Yet the power of attorney is done legal. It's done by a legal entity.
I don't know. I'm calling somebody. This is ridiculous. I'm sick of this stuff.
Upon contacting FNB headquarters, the local branch contacted Steve to state he could then go back to reclaim his documents in person. However, he was already back in Florida, and the stress he already faced was done. To this day, Steve worries that his information was duplicated and that efforts were taken by the bank to stop him from getting accounts established at other area bank institutions. Steve was then forced to go outside of the town to establish a legal business bank account, and he did have an account set up with the same documents provided to FNB within 1 hour of visiting another bank. Upon request, the names of FNB's legal department were never disclosed to Steve for him to contact when he asked to know why he was denied an account in the first place. The guys decided to take it upon themselves to answer the questions about the lack of permits for projects taking place across the city and the lack of proper procedures regarding the bidding for demolished structures. They had a feeling that there was a possibility of misappropriation of city funds which would affect all the area residents.
The permit is for the dumpster. It's got to be a green permit posted somewhere right within the facility of the dumpster.
Wow.
Keep going. I want to look on that window right there. Go slow. Film that right there.
There's nothing.
No permit posted,
How about
period.
this building here?
Nope. There has to be a permit
What's
posted
inside
within
these
10 feet.
dumpsters?
Keep going. I want to see. There's a full nasty one right here. The city's not removing that, but they want to remove my nice new white one.
There's asbestos in that dumpster.
Yes, there sure is asbestos in that dumpster sitting right on the top. I can see it. I can identify it.
Yeah.
Check that out. It's right there. No, it's here. I see it. And there's no permits posted anywhere. No permits posted anywhere, but they want to come to my house after I pay $100 a month. We pay for our dumpster permit.
They don't even have a permit on the side of the building.
These dumpsters have been sitting here for months with no permit, and they're not being removed by the city. Why is that? Yet mine got removed within a half an hour of our interview with the local city officials and the building department. Rick. Side up here now, you're going to see these buildings that are now in controversy and under stop work order per the city because of a $98,000 pool right over here, Rudy, on the side. These buildings, the contractor charged $98,000 to rip down these two small structures on an average. Quoted, and I know being in the construction industry in my life as well as speaking to demolition experts, you're looking at maybe $23,000 to $25,000 to tear this down.
Now, what did the code enforcement say about this? Is this up to code?
This is not roped off. Little kids can fall right in here.
And
no one's bothered to do anything.
That is asbestos. I can tell you right now, people, that is asbestos, and it's laying right on the top, and that was what complaining about was blowing around this neighborhood. Okay, and this is how they leave this with nothing. Should show this. By law, this is supposed to be fenced and caged off so that nobody has access to this site.
It's not even fenced in the rear of the property. You look back, it backs right up to normal homes, going right to people's back porches.
How could they take your garbage, your bin, and then leave this?
This is the point. The city's not focused on this, and then they they go to the newspaper and actually ask the contractor, one bidder, what the breakdown was of his bid. Wait a minute. Let's listen to this carefully. They quoted in the newspaper, and they were clear, and they even made it clear to us. They asked the contractor after he tore down the building what his breakdown was for $98,000 to tear down these structures. After? No. The law is clear. You have to have in writing what the cost is, 3 bids, even on an emergency tear down, what it costs and what's involved to do it. $98,000, the city has no money. And Now they want to spend $98,000 on this to a local contractor? It's nothing against the local contractor, but I don't even think he's asbestos certified from our research.
It's what it's all about right here. It's all about this.
Coal,
gas,
mineral
oil.
rights.
People are trying to keep this area depressed. These good old people going by with their kids. People are leaving the town. They want to stay. They've grown here. Their families were born and raised here. It's just something's not adding up, and no one's answering our questions. We want to know why not. What are they hiding?
The guys then decided it was time to get the opinions of some locals from the area. They have shown that they are willing to go on the front lines for the residents and wanted to see if others in the area had the same feeling of possible corruption or cover-ups. The guys went to a popular local store to get the pulse on the street.
What do you think of Shamokin?
Sucks.
Serious. I'm the guy that just blasted all over the newspaper for trying to revitalize it.
What? How?
We're trying to invest a lot of money in the community, and they're trying to bring up past because I was in jail once.
What you trying to invest?
We were trying to rehabilitate the neighborhood.
Fix up some of the torn down homes, get rid of all the mold in here, expose all the corruption.
How long you been here?
About 4 years, man.
4 years. And how do the people treat you?
Some are decent. The majority is they'll treat you the way they feel.
Right.
Yeah.
So you run into that's what we hear. Do you rent from a local landlord? No, you own?
This person's property.
Oh, you just did?
Yeah,
Before
that's
that,
what I came out here for.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but I dealt with Larry, Brent Russell, and
How was your rental experience in Shamokin before you bought your own property?
it was horrible.
It was horrible. That's everything that we hear. It's horrible.
Yeah, what's the name of your organization?
SNS Capital.
They got a membership?
And Hometown Revitalization Group, LLC.
They got a membership?
No, we're just
No
companies.
membership.
We're the
We're just
investors. We're investors.
Individual investors trying to fix it up, getting a lot of pushback from the town.
They're trying to stop us. They're trying to stop us
from buying because we're doing it the right way. Trying to take care of people.
It's a good old boy network. You know that, right?
Yeah, but see, trust me, I had the same exact problems. The same exact problems, especially when you're trying to purchase some property.
What happened to you?
Oh, they try to scam you. They're trying to sell you the property for more than what it's worth.
Who did you buy from?
Brett Russell.
Brett Russell, Presley Martin?
No, I just purchased from Presley Martin, but I had no complaints with them. The contract that worked out was good with them. It was a fix-up. I knew that from Jump Street, so I knew it took some work. But once you know that you're gonna, no matter what you get, if you walk in there, even if it looks decent, it's gonna take some work. Once the ceiling.
So what you're saying is they're overinflating the cost of the price to get you to what it's really worth.
For out of towners, yeah.
For out of towners.
For out of towners. If you're not from Shamokin, that's what they're doing. They're charging $79,000 for a house that only costs $20,000. Not even.
$79,000.
That's my experience with Brett Russell. Yeah, I ended up taking him to court. Everybody I ended up taking to court. Yeah, I studied law too.
Good for you.
So everybody I ended up taking to court today, and then some of them really, like they told me, they didn't know it was illegal until they got in court.
Yeah, overinflation of a piece of property is illegal.
And they miscellaneous writing in their leases where they give you this big thick ass stack of papers. So you, by the time you done signing, they didn't thought you signed away all your rights, but there's no way you can sign away a constitutional right by no form of contract.
That's correct.
But they don't realize that until somebody gets them in court. But they do a lot of people dirty, especially if they catch an old couple. That's the people they mostly take advantage.
Right. Where are you originally from? Philly?
New York.
New York?
Y'all can make a change, do
What made you move up here? Just the cost of living from Long Island? Or
cost of living. I got a large family. I was looking for property that was because you know in New York they got the squatters' rights and you got
it's different law.
taking.
This is the Commonwealth law,
Yeah,
right?
taking shit and selling it to you, and come to find out they don't own it when the bank not going to do it.
Right.
So I looked to purchase property, and the cheapest property I found was in Shamokin.
Have your children had any like racist type problems in school? Because we're finding that.
They have racist problems every day. Old ladies call them niggas sometimes, just from walking past. Get out of here, niggas, go on your side of the town.
I know.
When you look past the ignorant people, it's still some decent people. You understand what I'm saying? And that's everywhere you go.
It's good for you to say that. You're my best friend.
I need to start an organization. That's how you get the support that you're looking for. You start an organization out here, then you got the back.
It's a good idea. That's not a bad idea. Maybe we will do that.
Yeah.
Get all homeowners and community people together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If you tackle it that way, then you can't get the push and shove from everybody. Even though everybody related, I wish you the best of luck.
Oh, don't worry. We take. All I know is we've uncovered some serious stuff here, and it's coming to the surface.
You got landlords here that pay workers $5 an hour.
See that? That's less than minimum wage. You have
than-
landlords
that's
here that
illegal.
pay less than $5. That's illegal. That's correct.
illegal. You know what I'm
Did
saying?
you hear what you just said, Steve? You got landlords here paying people $5 an hour to work on their house.
Yeah, $5 an hour.
That's crazy.
That's under minimum wage. You're not allowed to do that by federal law.
Right.
Yeah, but see, it's all about what you can get the employment commission to please. Like half of them, though, they don't even. It's no escrow account saved up. None of them have.
None of
escrow.
them take
None of them have
the security deposit like we do.
Spend it.
And you put it in an escrow deposit
Yeah.
by law because no one's
And
challenged
you're
that.
supposed to have another account
another
where I
idea,
can
by
put
the way.
money in it as a tenant and seal you off from the money and don't have you get it. Instead, they rather you, when you decide not to pay them for fixing shit, they want to make it seem as if you just didn't pay them. It wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't
So there's nothing
I just
legitimate.
recently had I study law, and the dude I was renting from, Larry Burder,
I know
he
who
knows
you're
I
talking
study
about.
law.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I told him all the laws that he wasn't in compliance with before it even came to issue, and encouraged him to take me to Gimbick. You understand what I'm saying?
Gimmick is the magistrate, so everybody knows.
Yeah.
what that is.
I'm
It's a local magistrate.
I'm withholding the rent. If you got a problem with the way I'm doing things, you can take me to Gimbick. Told him which law to look up, the Landlord Tenant Act, 1951. He never looked the law up. He never even Brett Russell, who some of them not familiar that certain stuff that they run around here doing to people that they can't
How
do.
did you do in front of Gimbick, by the way?
I never lost a court case.
Oh, so he has ruled in your favor?
No, since from here to New York, that's what I study. I study law. I don't break the law. I go according to the law when I see it's a
That's
problem.
exactly right.
First thing I do is look up the laws that's in compliance with the problem that
That's
I'm
the
having,
way you do it.
and I handle it that way. So I can never
You're
lose.
doing pro se. You're doing everything
Yeah.
pro se.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So-
Good for you. I was just curious how your outcome was in front of Gimbick, the local magistrate.
Gimbick is a fair judge.
He's a decent judge.
Yeah,
For everything I've had, he's a
the only judge I had a problem with that tried to get a little critical was Salem.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's out of
Sunbury.
Sunbury.
Yeah.
Right. He's out of the court
Yeah.
common pleas.
But they all, what I noticed about the courtroom out here, nobody tries to overrule the law. Because you got, like New York, they'll quote you a case like People versus John Doe. You can have a 10 murder case. They quote him a drug case and deny your motion. I don't see none of that illegal activity going on.
Right.
But as far as the law, they follow the law. If you can pull it out and show it to them,
Yes,
they go
they
by
will
it.
follow.
If you can't pull it out and show it to them, everybody acts like they don't know what they are.
Again, thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Residents continue to state the problems they see to the guys and show their support for the mission at hand.
So, Steve Bartos, the guy doesn't even live in the city, he was on the council.
I don't think they should be allowed to be on the council if they don't live in the city. I think that's wrong too.
I think so too.
They
They didn't want to allow me to speak, and then when I said, they said, you don't live here, I said, well, excuse me, I might not live here, but I own 6 properties in this town, so it gives me a
Tell
right
him
to
that he
speak.
doesn't live here either, but he has to say what goes on.
So, this stuff may get on YouTube, you all don't mind if we put it out there.
No, that's fine.
And look, I'm sorry to hear that you're leaving, I wish you the best.
I
would like to say hold in, hang in there, maybe you guys can move back, because if we do change this around, this could be a good community.
If you change this around and it could be a good community, I may consider that, yes. And I appreciate everything you've been doing.
I'm trying.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
I got a call from someone who works at the news item, a friend of mine, and her and I had a disagreement. I said, I hope he sees the hands off of you. I said, because the statement that you made that says, in fact, what he's doing may not even be legal, I said, I hope he sues you. Anybody who works for the news item that you know, cut ties.
That's where this all started.
Cut ties. But let me tell you, a year ago, we went hell with them. Hell when her
Because your
TV
daughter
show
was on
on.
TV, right?
It was disgusting. In their opinions column, they actually put in there Melissa Wynn's bad mother. Her kid should be taken away.
You're one of the best mothers I've ever seen.
What we went through was disgusting, and I just didn't have the fight in me to hire an attorney. I don't know. Maybe the statute of limitations hasn't run out.
Yeah, you have 2 years.
It's never too late.
Now what's happened here is all of a sudden we want to know, we're trying to buy these properties. How come it costs $100,000 to tear down a building that costs $20,000? And why aren't the contractors, where's the rest of the money going?
Right.
Where's your bid?
Somebody's getting nice
Where's your bid? That's a big kickback. And then all of a sudden a day later, the city contacted the news item and said, we want a breakdown from the contractor. You're supposed to have the breakdown already. You're supposed to have 3 bids by law from 3 contractors. And this is how the county commissioners went to jail in Montreal. No bids, no anything, and they were paying contractors that aren't certified
to do the same thing. They have to be asbestos certified. A poor woman came into the town and said, there's asbestos flying all over the city council meeting. You know what Steve Bartow says? How do you know it's asbestos? Are you certified? Are you this or that? One of the garbage men stood up there and said, I am asbestos certified. That is asbestos. And they sent it to the EPA. What's your thoughts on Shamokin and these buildings?
Oh, they're beautiful. All of them. I mean, the architectural is beautiful.
That's what I mean. They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
We buy a lot of them ourselves.
Do you really?
And renovate them, yeah.
Who renovates for you?
We do a lot of them ourselves, but we're trying to find good local contractors.
There you go.
There you go.
My name's
Scott,
Mike.
how are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
I'm
We're actually shooting a
renovating.
big reality TV show about Shamokin.
I renovated this whole apartment building.
They're trying to keep improvement out of here. The city, for some reason, is trying to bring step improvement in. And we want to bring
What's your
that
name?
along. Scott.
Steve
Michael.
Crone, how you doing?
Stephen Crone is on
Good
our
to meet you.
SNS Capital.
Okay, yeah, someone told me you bought it, we're going to put in a laundromat.
No.
So I've been talking about this for 5 months, so I put a hold on all my apartments that started here. I've been working on this building since October last year. I renovated 4.5 apartments, and like I said, you put a hold on the apartments because we've been talking about it, we just ain't got to it yet.
Right.
So
May I ask you a quick question though?
Yes.
Because, and I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, but you know, this was, but my baby Scott's, you know, talking. He's advisor.
Mm-hmm.
How did you hear that we were even discussing that we were possibly considering a laundromat?
Town of Smokin.
But some of the information we put out there was supposed to be confidential.
I keep track of
And it
everything.
seems like
goes
everything
on
that
there.
we're saying, people are purposely trying to cut us out from
If you
under.
know what nobody know, don't tell.
All right. No offense. I'm glad you're doing what you're
I'm
doing.
being honest with you. It's business, man. It's no
Trust me,
personal.
we don't see anybody that gives a shit, and I'm glad that you do.
Yeah, it's a
apparently.
beautiful town.
But
It
I
can be
just, you know,
again.
it's just
What did you
really
just
funny.
say? It can be again, correct?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Our biggest resistance that we're finding is everybody keeps asking us, why Shamokin? Why do you want to put in a movie theater?
Because
Why
they're
do you want to
small-minded people.
Why do you want to bring in and put buildings up and fix up these buildings and create jobs for local people?
They're small-minded
local
people here.
contractors? That's the resistance we're getting.
Right.
And everybody, the question is, why Shamokin? And we say, why not Shamokin? I said,
Exactly.
I see beautiful architecture here. From my
60 years
history,
ago, it was beautiful.
That's what I said. I said, if this town boomed 60 years ago, regardless of the coal or not, okay, this town can boom again, okay? There's no reason that it cannot.
You can't stop progress. Industry will come back.
Yeah, I
You can't
agree.
stop
That's a
it.
very good point. That is
It's
a very
coming
good
back.
point.
There's too much land here for somebody not to put something. I hear they're building a couple more coal gins around.
Yeah,
People are going to need places to live.
exactline. And they're starting to
Yeah.
strip
And they're-
mine
and
again.
they're asking
You
us
saw the
why
new
we're-
railroad,
we've
right?
been
You
getting
saw the new
pushback.
railroad tracks?
I'm
That's
sorry?
We've been getting pushback. They keep saying, "Why are you coming here? Why have you?" Because you say you came from Baltimore. Has anybody ever bothered trying to push you out?
It took
or
me
force
6
you?
months to get a job.
Because we're not from the area.
So you're an outsider. They don't want us here.
No.
Okay.
In progress, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Well, I'm glad
I'm
you're
proud
doing it.
you're doing what you're
I'm
doing.
glad.
I'm happy.
I'm very happy, and I'm happy to meet you. and
They'll be
definitely-
picking up for nickels on the dime in 5 years when it's falling apart, and then big industry will come do it.
That's what they're
You
waiting
ain't
on.
going to stop it. It's coming. There's nothing nobody
We
can
know.
stop.
We're
We
bringing
know.
it.
Right.
We're bringing it
I
here.
mean,
The railroad's running again.
Yeah,
they're
that's what we just
defaming
pointed
us
out.
in the papers. They went so far as
Actually,
to
I
send stories.
think the article's right over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's full of crap.
it's full of crap.
Nobody
Nobody
does.
does.
Out here, half what I say.
It's full of garbage.
You're right.
Okay, that's my point.
Right.
And I was just curious, since you're not from the area, I'm sure you understand what goes on. It's the good
Oh,
old
it's a lot of
boys. It's the good old
politics.
boys
It's-
here.
Yeah, exactly. You take care of each other.
You know
But I'm
what?
glad
though?
to see you're putting a lot of
Competition's good for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Competition's
Oh, yeah.
good for
But I'm
everybody.
glad
You know
you're
what
putting
you're
a
doing?
lot
Oh, yeah.
You ever get any pushback?
The funny part
let us
is,
know.
it's just.
Well, we were talking about it, like, I'd say right after Christmas of last year, but everybody kept wanting places to live. So
Right. We find
we'll
the same
get to
thing.
this, you know.
16
So,
calls yesterday for one rental we had.
I mean, I can't build them fast enough.
The same thing.
The owner of this building just bought another building, another apartment building somewhere in Smokin.
See, this is what we're doing.
Right.
Same thing. So if we all
Everybody's got
stick
a place
together
to
and we
live.
do it,
Right.
and we do it by the, you know what I mean?
Right.
Give good people nice places to live, that's the right thing. But see, there are slumlords here
Oh, you ain't kidding.
that want to keep it depressed.
You ain't kidding.
And that's the problem. When guys like you come in and the guy who buys a building, you want to fix it up, put apartments in it, things like that, they don't want that.
Right.
On the next episode of Something Smokin' in Shamokin. The guys continue to get approached by individuals stating corruption and scandal that they have faced. Steve and Scott make it their mission to find out where the truth lies and to hold those responsible accountable for their actions.
The cops come out and saw the video, then they turned around and arrested her for harassing him on our property. What started this with me was Mr. Gembick opened up a towing business.
And Gembick is the local magistrate, correct?
Yes, he's a local magistrate here in town. He opened a towing business, and it was in his name, it was his business, his tags. Well, his partner, Michael Garcia, okay, that's his chief operator at the time. This was like 4 years ago. It was like November of '08 is when it started, right after I put this building up. And what had happened was, he got into the towing business, and all of a sudden he started getting all the towing. Okay, I bought the business off a friend of mine probably 15 years ago, and when I bought it, I had a hard time getting calls and stuff because you have to get the put back on the list.
Right, of course.
Well, as soon as Mr. Gembick throws his hat in the ring, he gets everything.
While signs of foul play are seen, the guys start to see small signs of action being taken by those that were placed in a position of power by the citizens. The officials are still not doing their job to the full capacity that they were elected to do, but the guys' pressure is clearly starting to mount within the city and some action is starting to take place. Hopefully, it is not too late. Through all the delays placed on Steve and Scott, they push through the politics to show that they do care about the community, and they start to look for ways to help the honest citizens. Scott is still being harassed and is now in the middle of a possibly illegal collusionary effort by the chief of police and a local parole agent. He is warned to get his affairs in order and is being threatened that he may go back to jail for allegedly violating his agreement with the state.
Well, I got word today my parole agent stopped by the house. From what I understand, they're going to try to put me back in jail. Yeah.
Stay tuned next time, because there is definitely something smoking in Shamokin.
They say a coal miner's daughter is different indeed, 'cause her papa might land you the job that you need. If he passes inspection, the ticket he'll read is that a coal miner's measured by the lips that it feeds. And now I work in the shop at Waterman Lake. I'm another electrician. The coal miners pay after fixing equipment. With the men in the pit, we'll head out to the game, but we'll all drink a beer. Let's drink to wide open spaces and familiar faces, and fishing through holes in the ice towards relaxing ambitions. Through white woodwork fishing, turning coal into diamonds and northern lights. Well, the father for me is before he's standing deep in the hole. Before turning 15, they were working for peanuts and breaking their backs. Till along came the Sundance and wobbling snacks. So the next generation, new to the game, built these generator stations. Stones thrown away and the drag lines made mountains. Gold disappeared, we'll move more in a week than they could in a year. While the miners keep digging, we tend to the rigging. We work hard, but we won't work for free. We'll make union decisions and constant revisions, so the steelworkers deep in our sea can keep chasing those coal miners' dreams. Let's drink to wide open spaces and familiar faces, and fishing through holes in the ice towards our relaxing ambitions. Through white woodwork fishing, turning coal into diamonds and northern lights. Turning coal into diamonds and northern lights. With computers' compassion, the schedulers' forms have the laser surveying prospectors' stones, and the coal miner's daughter straightening again while the Whitewood's exhausted in 2010. We've learned from the past, no coal miner lass, the son of a coal miner's daughter. Since our Genesis breach, guess we'll leave Seba Beach, 'cause we'll never make blood out of water, and we'll never make coal out of stone. But I've married that coal miner's daughter, guess we're leaving our woman alone. So let's drink to wide open spaces and familiar faces, and fishing through holes in the ice towards our relaxing ambitions. Through Whitewood we're fishing, turning coal into diamonds and northern lights, turning coal into diamonds and northern lights, turning coal into diamonds and northern lights, turning coal into diamonds and northern lights. Northern lights. Northern lights. Northern lights.
This is Dalton Wesley, and I thank you for tuning in to Something Smokin' in Shamokin. May God bless your family, may God bless your neighbor, and may God bless your town.